Venezuela's president is asking for special powers from Parliament in response to new U.S. sanctions. CCTV's Markovits has more on Nicolas Maduro's reaction to the growing friction with Washington.
Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro lashed out at the U.S. after President Barack Obama declared Venezuela a national security threat and signed an executive order approving new sanctions against the country. In a fiery 2-hour speech, Maduro called it proof that Washington wants to topple his government.
President Obama will be remembered in the future for this decision and his aggression against the Venezuelan people, the noble people, because the people of Venezuela are a peaceful people. President Obama, you don't have the right to attack, nor to declare that Venezuela is a threat to the people of the United States. You are the threat to the people of the United States.
Obama's executive order targets 7 Venezuelan government officials for alleged human rights abuses relating to the crackdown of anti-government protests last year and the recent arrest of high-profile opposition politicians. All of them would be barred from the U.S. and also have their properties and assets there seized. But at Monday's speech, Maduro called these officials heroes and even promoted one of them to become Interior Minister. This cements Venezuela as Washington's main adversary in Latin America, now that relations with Cuba are improving. In recent months, Maduro has accused the U.S. of trying to overthrow his government. Last week, the Venezuelan president ordered the U.S. embassy to cut its staff to 17 from 100 within 15 days. Maduro also imposed a visa requirement for U.S. tourists to register when entering Venezuela. With the country's inflation rate the highest in the world and widespread shortages of goods common, Washington says Caracas is using the U.S. as a scapegoat.
Clearly, we've also seen a pattern over the past several months of President Maduro accusing the United States of being involved in transgressions that we have no involvement in, that are frankly outrageous and distract from the problems they have in their own country. So in that regard, certainly we've been dealing with an uptick in that in recent months. Okay.
But despite the sanctions, the U.S. did not target trade relations between the two countries. Despite being political enemies, commercial relations are thriving as the United States remains the biggest buyer of Venezuelan oil. Markovits, CCTV, Caracas.